Just one more thing on podcasting and maybe strategies. What do you, I always find it really interesting, when brands interview their customers and kind of have their customers and clients on the show and make them the heroes and leverage their platforms for their customers so they can kind of showcase, you know, what they're doing, and then maybe even they become more loyal, right? Wow, like this company had me on their podcast. That's really cool. Have you seen, is that something that the folks that you're working with are doing or have used to showcase their customers, or maybe even go after somebody that they would want as a customer? Yep. And then have them
brilliant. So that's one thing I'll point out is there can be different intentions for a podcast. And one of the ones that we've seen is you can use podcast for business development. So there's like one company I'm thinking of in particular where they have a target list of 100 to 250 companies, relatively very small number. And the only reason they're doing a podcast is that it's easier to get a meeting with those accounts than reaching out by a cold sales email like everyone else and saying, "Can I have a conversation?" And it's something I'm experimenting with beyond the uniform, as we talked about right before we recorded. Is like, oh, this is a guy or gal I really want to talk to. I think they could be a Captivate customer. They're also a veteran. Maybe I have them on the show, and this is a way to demonstrate what I do and build a relationship and play the long game rather than just, "Hey, will you buy my stuff?" So certainly consider that as a means of business development. A second reason is to deepen relationships, and so that can be for thought leadership. It can be for customers. I haven't done that yet, but I've had a lot of brands ask me about that, and my general advice is, in the portfolio of your podcast, maybe 1 out of 10 could be a customer conversation. But I'm just really, right or wrong, I don't have evidence for this, but other than my anecdotal experience, I'm very cautious about anything that could be perceived as salesy. And so, if I'm listening to a podcast because they're teaching me and informing me and giving me knowledge, I will listen to that. But the moment my spidey sense kicks in that they're talking to a customer about what a great brand that the host is, like, it's just, it becomes a turnoff really quickly. It feels like they're trying to trick me or they're trying to trap me. So I love the idea of strengthening the customer relationship by having them on the show. And I love in particular if they have specific knowledge to apply. But I would go back to that 11-second rule. Like, in the same vein, they're going to probably want to plug you as a company. It's like the polite thing to do, but you need to make sure that it's 11 seconds out of the 45 minutes and really having it be about adding value rather than an infomercial, right? Which we've all seen, and you change the channel as soon as you feel like you're watching some paid ad like that.